This 2015 NLDS telecast on TBS is brought to you by FanDuel, the leader in one-day fantasy sports. And DirecTV and AT&T are now one, bringing television and wireless together.
Sun has set north side of Chicago, Wrigley Field. Jake Arrieta back to work. It is a windy Monday night. Wind is howling out towards right field. The wind has actually shifted a little bit. Javier Baez will stay in the game after pinch running for Russell. He'll play short. That keeps Starlin Castro at second base. And it was a Starlin Castro home run that tied this game up. 2-2 ball game as we play in the fifth, with Colton Wong leading off against Arrieta.
I think most people would think, okay, well, Castro was your shortstop at the beginning of the year. Why not move him over to short? But Joe Madden told us, no, he is a second baseman now, and he's going to stay there. And Baez, certainly a very capable replacement in the shortstop position.
Wong in an 0 middle, he fooled. Fastball, middle. And a strikeout for Arrieta.
Thinks he's going to throw him that cutter down and in, and he takes one right there. Not even on the inside corner. That ball's middle.
5 punch outs for Jake Arrieta.
Not a whole lot unlike the one that Hayward took.
Exactly.
Would have caught him guessing as well.
Here's Waka, the Cardinal pitcher. And a foul ball for strike one. Well, for Jake Arrieta, he's in our forecaster presented by FanDuel. 87% of his starts have resulted in wins for the Chicago Cubs. The most wins, first 20-game winner for the Cubs since 2001. A 22-game winner this season. Arrieta led the National League in victories. 3 times he was the player of the week in the National League, and twice the pitcher of the month in the National League. Led the league in wins and complete games. He had 4 of those. Had a complete game in the wild card game last Wednesday, but his pitch count is higher than it normally is at this point of the game. The Cardinals have done a good job in that category. And a wave and a miss, and Arrieta strikes out Waka for the second time. That gives him 6.
Because of all that you just said about Arrieta, Brian, that home run by Castro was huge from a momentum standpoint. The Cardinals had actually taken a lead off of him. They took advantage of 2 walks to start an inning. A guy who hadn't been giving up anything. Castro gives the Cubs the momentum right back, gets Arrieta even. That was a big shift.
And that's why they talk about the shutdown innings. I mean, that was huge, especially when you get off 2 runs off of Arrieta. It's like it's impossible, and you give it right back.
Here's Carpenter now. He's jumping on the first pitch, fouls it away.
He's had 2 good swings. You know, he hit the fly ball to right that maybe got in on him a little bit, but he backed Schwarber up to the wall and left. He's had 2 good hacks at his old pal.
16 strikes, last 17 pitches. That double by Peralta that gave the Cardinals the lead, or actually tied the game, and then the ground ball by Pham was part of that grouping. He's had back-to-back strikeouts. His old TCU Horned Frog teammate Carpenter, and that's pulled through the hole, a base hit. Now Carpenter singles to right with 2 away. A lot of discussion between these two. Carpenter had never had a hit against Arrieta, 0 for 18 in his career, and they were together at TCU. Carpenter moving all around the diamond. That picture, by the way, with the beard of Arrieta, that's a recent picture, I think, from
alumni team.
An alumni game. He doesn't even look like the same guy in the other 2 images. But yeah, they have deep roots together, Carpenter and Arrieta. Carpenter gets him for the first time, his first career hit against him. So a man on with 2 away, and a wave and a miss. Piscotty had a slider and right over the top of it.
That's not good news for the Cardinals. He's getting that radar working on that breaking ball.
It's funny because they had recognized it a little bit the first time around, but all of a sudden you see a swing like that, they have no idea.
Now the Cubs have lost their starting shortstop. Let's check in with Matt Weiner. What do you have from the clubhouse, Matt?
Well, he's not reemerged in the clubhouse. We are told he is being treated for tightness in his left hamstring.
All right, so out is Russell and in is Baez, waiting on his first ground ball. And Piscotty takes a strike. Well placed fastball from Arrieta. Piscotty in a 1-2 count. Two outs, runner at first. Arrieta deals and a swing and a miss. He struck him out, and the inning is over. A single in the fifth, but 3 punch outs for Jake Arrieta. He's got 7 tonight.
Next up at the plate, Giovanni Flip. Greek yogurt with a flip of tasty goodies on the side. It's the break you make. To love this life is to live it naturally.
There are garages, and there are BMW service centers. There are mechanics that use parts, and there are certified technicians that use genuine parts. There are waiting areas, and there are lounges. You can't compare the experience, but you can compare the cost. Competitive prices for genuine parts and service. Receive a BMW brake service starting at $239.99 now through December 31st.
Warum sprechen wir eigentlich Deutsch?
Ich weiß nicht.
Liegt es am Namen Winktoberfest?
Ich denke schon.
Phew.
Bless you.
Gesundheit.
Bless you.
It's time to celebrate Wingtoberfest. Half-price wings Thursday, October 15th. This is how you Sonic.
Steve Jobs.
Your daughter and her mother are on welfare.
She's not my daughter.
What you make isn't supposed to be the best part of you. You're a father. That's the best part of you.
Good luck.
Steve Jobs, rated R.
We love having NFL Network and spending all Sunday with Game Day. It's like we're family. But we need to set some family rules.
If you're going to be on the air before anyone else, you're making the coffee.
I make a mean cappuccino. His cappuccino is awful.
And can you please make sure I get all the fantasy stats? I really need to beat Fred at work.
Fred's going down.
And if you're going to be up later than anyone else on Game Day, fine. For Pete's sake, don't let the dog get out.
It was one time.
NFL Game Day morning, Sunday at 9, only on NFL Network.
You know, Viagra helps guys with erectile dysfunction get and keep an erection. Talk to your doctor about Viagra.
Ask your doctor if your heart is healthy enough for sex. Do not take Viagra if you take nitrates for chest pain. It may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Side effects include headache, flushing, upset stomach, and abnormal vision. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. Stop taking Viagra and call your doctor right away if you experience a sudden decrease or loss in vision or hearing.
Ask your doctor about Viagra.
Let's take a look at tonight's playmakers presented by Chrysler. And how about the Cubs outfielders? Look at Joe Simpson perk up. Outfielders at the plate performing very well. Kyle Schwarber has 5 hits in this postseason to lead the way, and this is the group that is carrying the Cubs offensively.
Everybody else needs to pick up the pace for the Cubs.
Dexter Fowler had 3 hits in the wild card game against the Pirates, including a home run. Has 2 hits in this division series. Michael Wacha starts this inning on the mound with bullpen activity out there in the right field line. Kevin Segras getting loose.
They can't afford to let him get in trouble again. He needs a clean inning is what he needs.
Very unusual wind here at Wrigley Field. So when we started, it was a summer breeze blowing out. That's a southwest wind blowing out to center field. Now it is coming out of the west. And you don't see that much, and it is blowing straight out to right field. And I would imagine right now it's gusting into the 20-30 mile an hour range at times.
For a left-handed hitter to hook it out of here.
3-1. Fowler high in the air. Wind will blow it out there towards Hayward, drifting back, still going back, and he's got it for the out. A routine pop-up ends up nearly on the warning track for the first out of the inning for Waka. Aerial coverage tonight provided by Goodyear. Everything Goodyear has learned making tires that go the distance inspires what they roll into yours. Goodyear, more driven.
Jason Hayward, an excellent outfielder and a Gold Glove right fielder. Mike Matheny said tonight with Pham in center, the nice thing is having Jason in right, because right field is tougher to play here at this ballpark.
Here's Jorge Soler. What a postseason he is putting together. He is in that group of outfield success. He's had 7 plate appearances. He has not been retired. And you can make it 8. Jorge Soler is locked in. And a base hit with 1 away. And we'll see if that forces the hand of Mike Matheny. The heart of this order is coming up. Soler, 8 plate appearances, 3 hits and 5 walks now.
Started him off with a changeup, then he couldn't get the fastball on the outside corner. Soler is all over it. I mean, a bullet into left field. And they don't miss fastballs. You cannot sneak one by him.
He's staying back, using his hands. Ball's jumping off his bat.
And Matheny will stick with Waka. 1 out. Here's Bryant. And a fastball missed.
Bryant out on a fastball last time up that looked a little bit outside.
That's been the game plan. Staying away from Bryant, who singled in the first inning, his first postseason hit. He had been 0 for 11. 2-0. Yeah, big deep breath by Waka. I don't blame him.
Well, Rizzo is on deck, left-handed hitter, but Seagrist's numbers, if they go to him, he's actually better against right-handers than he is against lefties.
And Molina, another timely visit to the mound.
Says something when Seagrist is out there, and this is what, the 5th inning? I mean,
right.
There's a guy that goes into the 8th inning. You got to be ready.
Now, the Cardinals are afforded this opportunity because of Adam Wainwright. So that gives Matheny some flexibility in his bullpen. He can afford to have Seagrist getting loose in this spot. Big pitch coming here. 2-0 to Bryant, and he misses. 3 balls, no strikes.
I'm guessing green light here. If there was nobody out, maybe take.
Something Bryant does all the time. 3-0, and he swings and misses. He took a shot at it.
Hardest ball that Waka's thrown all night long. He just aired it out.
One out, runner at first. And Bryant fouls it away. Waka gets himself back in the count.
He's been late a lot. Bryant has during this stretch where he's trying to find his swing again. I know he got a hit in the first inning, but that fastball, he's been late.
Soler with a 1-out single. Very short lead at first base. And Bryant sends one in the air. Way back left field. Goodbye. 2-run home run. Chris Bryant. Cubs have the lead.
He wasn't late on that one.
I'll tell you what, when you give somebody 6 fastballs, right? 6 fastballs, balls up, he's not late, just like you said. And that's why he's Rookie of the Year, because he's got big fly power.
And that will be the last hitter that Waka faces. Maybe one too many for the Cardinals. Cubs lead on the Bryant bomb.
to introduce the new Infiniti QX50. We could have shown it on a winding mountain pass, or somewhere even more cliche, like a downtown street. But what distinguishes the Infiniti QX50 isn't where you can take it, it's how you feel taking it there. With generous cargo space, extended second row legroom, and coupe-like handling, the new QX50 from Infiniti. Lease the new Infiniti QX50 for $329 a month. Visit your local Infiniti retailer.
Some moments are worth the journey. We'll help get the most out of every mile. Chase down your passion. Never halfway. Hankook Tire.
This is Gordon. Downtown for a sales call. West Side for a presentation. Meeting after meeting. That's why Gordon stops at Exxon and Mobil for fuels that help his engine run cleaner, smoother, and with better fuel economy. So he can make it to the meeting that matters most. Gordon is energy. Exxon and Mobil. Energy lives here. Exxon and Mobil are proud Plenty partners. Lots of points, lots of places, one rewards program.
This 2015 NLDS telecast on TBS is presented by T-Mobile. Share your passion for a chance to win World Series tickets from T-Mobile. Hashtag the Big 7. By Midas for brakes, tires, oil, everything. Trust the Midas touch. By DraftKings. Play free 1-week fantasy football for your shot at millions of dollars at DraftKings.com. And by Hyundai.
Well, a shot heard all through Chicago. Chris Bryant launches a 2-run home run out of here. The Cubs now lead it, and Mike Matheny goes to Kevin Segrist out of his bullpen.
Segrist, you see all the work he's had, 81 games this year. A lot of punch outs, fastball changeup with fastball cuts. Healthy gas right there.
Yeah, he can run it up there around 97 at times and likes to use his fastball. The changeup is his best pitch, I think, off the fastball, but he doesn't use it much against lefties.
Anthony Rizzo with one man out. Chris Bryant's home run, a showstopper here at Wrigley Field. His first home run in 20 days. He had been in a bit of a drought with the production. Hadn't had an RBI in that stretch as well. He and Rizzo slumping coming in, but Joe Madden showing a lot of confidence in all of his comments when the questions about Bryant and Rizzo came up. Joe Madden just laughs. So these guys, they'll be here, don't worry. And they've won 2 games in this postseason without them, without their production offensively. Different story tonight. Bryant has 2 hits. Rizzo still looking for his first.
And again, you'll see Rizzo come up off the knob of the bat, behind in the count, shorten up his swing a little bit.
2-2 pitch, and Rizzo way back. Anthony Rizzo with a home run, a no-doubter. To 2 Chicago as Anthony Rizzo's first postseason hit is a memory. A long home run into the bleachers in right field.
Is he psyched or what? This is a piece of cheese. That ball's thrown hard right down the middle. He saw enough fastballs. He got the head out. You're talking about the wind blowing out to boot. This ball is absolutely crushed.
Yeah, he didn't need the wind, did he?
Right.
Well, that came in hot as it went into the bleachers. Now Castro, who homered in the 4th inning to tie the game. This Wrigley Field crowd is alive and well right now. For the last couple of innings, the Cubs crushing Cardinal pitching. Castro hit a tape measure shot in the 4th inning with 1 out. After the Cardinals had scored twice in the top of the 4th. That was in the bottom of the 4th to tie it up. And a pop-up. Not an easy play here by any stretch. The wind's blowing that back towards fair territory. And it is Piscotty who makes a great catch. Steven Piscotty is down, has the ball in his glove. Wong gets up limping. And for a guy who survived a violent collision just a couple of weeks ago in Pittsburgh, he is involved in another one here tonight.
He had his legs chopped out from under him by Wong, who was also tracking the baseball. He may have been calling for it too, but you know, with the crowd so close, neither one could hear.
This is not an easy play to begin with. Over your shoulder. See, Wong cuts him out, cuts underneath him. Lands on his head a little bit, shoulder. Concentration enough to catch this ball.
A hard crash to the ground. Piscotty had made it through all the concussion protocols there at the end of the season. Remarkably, after that collision he had in Pittsburgh 2 weeks ago. And I'm sure they are very concerned about this fall to the plate. Piscotty looks like he's all right in that he wants to remain in the game.
Well, this could have been worse, really. I mean, get your legs cut out from under you.
Could have been worse. Jason Hayward got involved too. He would have flattened both of them.
Well, both players fortunate. We'll see how long they'll be able to remain. That is a fantastic play by Piscotty, though. Terrific. Fearless catch for the 2nd out of the inning. And now Kyle Schwarber is coming up. Schwarber hit a home run in the 2nd inning to start the scoring tonight in Game 3. Struck out his last time up. You cannot help but be impressed with the success of the Cubs rookies. It is so rare to have 4 rookies in a starting lineup in a postseason game. And then to have all of those rookies contribute like they are here tonight. Solaire's been on all 3 times. Had a hit that started this rally in this inning. Bryant, 2 hits, including a 2-run homer. Rizzo, not a rookie, but helped keep the scoring going. Then you got Schwarber and Addison Russell.
And you talk about the middle of their lineup, 3, 4, 5, 6 all went deep.
Yeah, again, Seager splits are reverse splits. He's better against right-handers. All fastballs to Rizzo, and he caught up to one.
And the 1-2, Schwarber takes a ball down and away. The last time the Cubs won a game here at Wrigley Field in the postseason was the last time they hit 4 home runs in a game in the postseason. That was October of '03 against the then Florida Marlins. They've got 4 tonight. And the record for the Cubs in the postseason in a single game is 5. And Dennis, that was from that 1984 club you're talking about that had Rick Sutcliffe, a 16-game winner. You were a member of that ball club.
And he hit a home run in that game.
That was against San Diego. Schwarber takes off the plate. 3 balls, 2 strikes on the rookie Schwarber. Rizzo's home run came on a 2-strike pitch. The payoff, and Schwarber launches one foul. And that's going to head out on to Sheffield. That might break a window.
Fastballs, fastballs, fastballs. He's going to have to use something different to these left-handed hitters.
With that kind of fastball, you'd think he would blow guys away, left-handed hitters.
And Schwarber on an at-bat. He draws the walk. Got the count back full and draws a walk to keep the inning alive. A man on with 2 outs. 3 runs are in. Anthony Rizzo's first postseason hit. He gets the silent treatment. Nobody came over for him. A symbol of this loose Chicago Cubs outfit.
And of course, Rizzo and La Stella talking it over.
It's the only love over there in that dugout. It makes sense. Here's Javier Baez, his first at-bat. Talk about all the power up and down this Cubs lineup. Baez has as much as anyone. This guy can launch. Did so last year. Came up, set the world on fire in the first 3 weeks in the big leagues, and then had a hard time striking out a lot. They sent him back to the minor leagues. Joe Madden, everybody wants to ask Madden about Baez's offense, and he's got one of these huge swings that draws oohs and ahs even when he misses. But Joe Madden always talks about his defense, Joe, and how good he is.
Great arm, good range, play anywhere on the diamond.
They got kids like this coming up. They're just so deep. This kid's got to cut down on his strikeouts without a doubt, but he's got to find a place to play here with Russell and Castro.
Baez spent most of the year at AAA for the Cubs. Getting his first postseason at bat, and he fouls one away. Cardinals have activity in their bullpen. Inning started with Michael Wacha on the mound. And you could tell Matheny was debating whether to take him out or leave him in after the Soler at bat. He left him in to face Bryan, and Bryan went deep. Seth Maness is the Cardinal right-hander. It's the fourth batter faced for Segras. He's gotten one out, and that one's up and in. Full count.
A lot of bad counts tonight for Cardinals pitchers. They've had to try to get outs, and they've been in hitters' counts, and that's been tough.
And the freewheeling Baez looking for something he can drive here. It's 5-2 Cubs, 2 outs, 5th inning, and Baez on the ground in the hole that sneaks through a base hit. Schwarber all the way to third base. Javier Baez in his first postseason at bat delivers with a single, and the inning is alive and well for the Cubbies.
Get some good swings when you got a 3-2 pitch looking fastball down and in. That ball cut a little bit. He finds a hole. A little late start there by Carpenter, but I don't think he would have got there anyway. First and third here off Segras.
And another moment of truth here for Mike Matheny. Does he allow Segras to continue? Looks like he's gonna against the left-handed hitting Montero. More on Baez. Let's check in with Matt Weiner. What do you have, Matt?
Well, guys, the 2015 season got off to a very difficult start for Javier Baez, who lost his 21-year-old sister, Noelle. She had been dealing with complications from spina bifida from birth. When they told her parents she probably wouldn't live more than a week. She made it to 21. She was a huge fan of her big brother, and obviously a tough blow for him.
Yeah, it's been a tough road off the field. He had his troubles on the field. And I feel like that's why every time you ask Joe Madden about some of these other players and these star players that have come up for the Cubs, he always seems to work in Javier Baez's name. He feels like he's going to be a big contributor for Chicago, and he has been tonight. Montero takes a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike on the veteran Cub catcher.
They got the call on the outside corner of the first pitch, and it looked like Molina was holding that one there for Mike Winters because he thought it might be the same pitch. Didn't get the call. Neither one. On pitch track showing you that they were on the plate.
And there's a called strike. Puts a count at a ball and 2 strikes. Montero is hitless thus far, but he has reached. He reached on an intentional walk, and then he drove in a run in game 2. Molina surveying.
Well, again, what does Segras go to here? Left-handed hitter for an out. Go back to that same spot a little more off the plate and hope he chases a little soon.
1st and 3rd. Baez with a big lead at first base. There he goes. And the pitch is outside the ball. Molina doesn't even bother with a throw. They wanted to put the first baseman Piscotty behind the runner. So Baez ends up at second base.
But now what do you do?
I mean, really, you can't give him a pitch to hit here.
You got the pitcher on deck.
And you know Arrieta's not coming out.
You better not make a mistake here.
And now Molina's on his way. Well, there's two ways to think about it, right? You can go after it here with 2 strikes. If you get him out, you'll have the pitcher Arrieta leading off the next inning. But boy, a base hit here with runners at second and third, and you've just rolled a major dice.
If you're Montero, you got to expand your zone a little bit. The guys hit you with some strikes a little bit off the plate. He likes to pull the ball, then look middle away and see if you can drive one somewhere. If they pitch it inside, fight it off.
Watch out for a wild pitch here too. Schwarber can get a big lead over at third base. Second and third, 2 outs. And a swing and a miss. Segris challenged him and strikes him out. The Cubs put a crooked number on the board in the 5th. After the Soler hit to start it, Chris Bryant goes deep. And then Anthony Rizzo, an even longer home run.
Still haven't tried FanDuel's one-week fantasy football leagues? Over 1 million fans have already won money. Choose a league. They start at $1. Pick your team. Done. Winners get paid the next day and there's no season-long commitment. FanDuel pays out $75 million a week. Get off the sidelines and get some. Try FanDuel today. We'll match your first deposit up to $200. Love it or your money back. Guaranteed. Go to FanDuel.com, enter promo code PUNTER. That's PUNTER.
We're a marketing research company, so I need to collect your phone so you can't post pictures. Okay, how does it feel to not be connected?
My chest hurts.
Well, let me give your phones back. Let me show you. Built-in 4G LTE Wi-Fi that connects up to 7 devices.
So this thing puts out its own signal?
Yes.
This is next level, Chevy.
130 yards now.
Bill's got a very tough lie here.
Looks like we have some sort of sea monster in the water hazard here.
I believe that's a kraken, Bruce.
It looks like he's going to go with the 9-iron. That may not be enough club.
Well, he's definitely going to lose his stroke on this hole.
If you're a golf commentator, you whisper. It's what you do. If you want to save 15% or more on car insurance, you switch to Geico. It's what you do.
This golf course is electric.
This is a true story about the wills of men and the pursuit of a goal to end their city's great drought. This is their journey. This is the quest on TNT.
Hey, LeBron, Kevin, Kyrie. Man, we can't get to the top of the East on a camel. It's hot out here. Where the air conditioning at?
Cubs lead at 5-2, game 3 of this National League Division Series. And a reminder that official caps, hoodies, jackets, and more. Celebrate with your favorite team at the MLB.com shop. And this crowd is riled up. Jake Arrieta back on the mound. The Cubs have so much faith in Jake Arrieta, and especially when they get a lead. And now it's a 3-run lead for one of the game's most dominant pitchers. Arrieta giving up 2 runs in the 4th inning. He walked the first 2 hitters of the inning. One of those included Matt Holliday, who leads off in the Cardinals' 6th.
Well, with a 3-run lead, he can now afford to be less exact with his stuff. He can challenge in that first pitch, get ahead in the count, not worry about a long ball.
They put that one right by Holliday. 95-mile-an-hour fastball. 1-2 the count. Holliday struck out in the first inning. That ended the first, and then had the walk and the run scored in the 4th inning. Cubs led 1-0 after a homer by Schwarber in the 2nd. Cardinals took the lead with 2 in the 4th. Peralta and Pham with RBIs, and then the tying home run by Castro in the 4th. 3-run 5th for Chicago. Back-to-back homers, Bryant and Rizzo.
You know, even when he's center cut, Arrieta, there's the deception with that crossfire. He can't get cute here. You don't need any 3-2 count. I'd go right after him.
Holliday trying to drive one to the opposite field. 2-2 the count. Holliday this year snapped a string of 8 straight 20-homer, 30-double seasons. Was the longest current streak in the major leagues. He dealt with the quad injury that put him on the disabled list twice. And there was a lot of concern whether he'd be able to come back and what kind of hitter he'd be coming back. And very few at-bats. He's been swinging it well, though, and there's a base hit. So Holliday with a leadoff single here in the 6th inning.
Jumped on a slider and all that stuff about how he was only a Coors Field hitter. Nonsense.
Let's check in with Casey Stern. Got a game break setting up the Dodgers and the Mets from New York tonight.
All right, BA, thank you. This game break brought to you by our friends at Bleacher Report. David Wright and the Mets getting ready. Should be an electric atmosphere at Citi Field for Game 3 at 8:30. If you're looking for the Mets and Dodgers game, just head over to TNT. When it's concluded, it'll come back to TBS. We come back to you in Chicago.
All right, thanks, Casey. That'll be some fun. First postgame or postseason game ever at Citi Field, which opened in '09. So they're revved up. They're certainly fired up here in Wrigleyville, Chicago. Hadn't had a postseason game here at historic Wrigley Field since '08. And haven't seen their team win a game at Wrigley Field in the postseason since 2003. So a long way to go in this one. Jason Hayward with a lead man on at first.
There are a lot of great venues for postseason. Fans are certainly supportive and wild and crazy at all the home venues, but it doesn't get much better than Wrigley Field. Fans right on top of the action, so passionate, and they're being treated to a lead tonight with some long balls.
Cubs have hit 4 home runs tonight. 3 of the 4 solo. Bryant had the 2-run shot last inning. Here's a 1-1. And Hayward in the air, hit well, deep left center field, and that ball is up and out of here. Jason Hayward, a 2-run blast, and the Cardinals are right back in it. His second hit of the night against Jake Arrieta, and it's a 5-4 ball game.
You get a ball in the air, it's going to fly out of here tonight, even the opposite field. It's a backdoor cutter, you know, a hanger, wasn't it? A little curveball you don't see very often. He goes out all the way out to get that ball.
I'm telling you, he loves the ball away from him, where he can extend his arms and drive the ball to left center, to left field, like we've seen twice tonight.
Well, that could have, the crowd is quiet.
But Jason Hayward has owned Jake Arrieta in his career. He's one of the few. 2 more hits tonight. That gives him 8 hits in their confrontations. Well, that is a huge home run for Hayward and the Cardinals. A 2-run blast. Nobody out. Start the inning fresh for Johnny Peralta.
It's like Castro's homer that tied the game for the Cubs. This home run gives the Cardinals life, gets them back in it mentally, because they've gotten 4 off of Arrieta and are only 1 down.
And now Peralta, swing and a miss.
Boy, you're thinking this game's over. Arrieta's on the mound, 3-run lead. Shutdown innings. I mean, it's huge. The Cardinals are not giving up.
And the Cardinals, not a team known as a home run hitting ball club throughout the regular season. Bottom 3rd in the major leagues in that category, but that has not been the case in this postseason. As for Arrieta, the most runs given up since mid-June. Had a historic second half. Double barrel action in the bullpen. That's Clayton Richard, the left-hander. Pedro Strop is the right-hander. 2-2 to Peralta. And a swing and a miss. He struck him out. Peralta chased that time. And Arrieta has strikeout number 8.
Comes back for the 2-0 count to punch out Peralta.
Here's Tommy Pham now with 1 away. Bases empty. Pham drove in a run with a ground out in the 4th inning. He's 0 for 2. Both of his outs on the ground. And to RBI gave the Cardinal the lead, and there's a strike. St. Louis has hit 6 home runs in this division series.
We knew when we walked in today, Joe, with the wind blowing like that, it's going to be a hard time. You think you're going to have 2-1, 3-2 game here.
What do we say? Might be 10-9.
Yeah.
In there. Called strike. 1-2 on Pham. Pitch count rising for Arrieta. Joe Madden was telling us in the game against the Pirates, felt like he came out with so much adrenaline, then got a little fatigued, got through that inning, and then was able to finish off the game, a complete game shutout. There's a swing and a miss, and Arrieta back-to-back strikeouts after the 2-run home run by Hayward. 2 outs now.
That's like coming back. You talk about Arrieta. He did not. That's the cutter that he's known for. A little punch out there. Back-to-back punch outs after the home run. That's huge.
And an interesting move here. So Arrieta coming off his 9th strikeout of the game. And Mike Matheny is going to remove Yadier Molina from the game. Brandon Moss will bat for Molina. So obviously Molina who was paid a visit by the athletic trainer earlier, and that ball hits him. Moss is hit by a pitch. On the first pitch, Brandon Moss is hit. And the tying run is now on for the Cardinals in the 6th inning.
This hard cutter gets away from him, drills him at the top of the foot.
That was a front foot breaking ball. Got him.
Yeah.
It's a big news story with Molina coming out, though. That is the key piece to the St. Louis Cardinals. We talked about that in our opening game 1, and Molina's done for the night.
So is Arrieta.
Well, Joe Maddon's on his way out. So Arrieta stalls in the 6th inning. A Hayward 2-run homer's made it a 1-run game. And what has been the most dominant pitcher in the second half of the season is walking out of this game.
Every night, we're searching for something. Something different. Something unforgettable.
Luxury is being pulled in a new direction, drawn to an idea whose time has come. Built with a revolutionary carbon core that is lighter, leaner, stronger. Because the best way to predict the future is to create it. Introducing the most innovative vehicle in its class, the all-new BMW Driving.
All right, listen up. We all know that DirecTV is better at this whole TV thing. So to beat them, we're going to get bigger. We're going to merge with Cable World.
Cable World? I can't stand those guys.
They're totally incompetent.
That company stinks, and I mean they smell. I used to work there. I had to breathe through my mouth the whole time.
This is going to be fun, firing everyone.
Get rid of cable and switch to DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV.
Let's bring you inside the booth, presented by Esurance, proud partner of Major League Baseball. Brian Anderson, the Hall of Famer Dennis Eckersley, and Joe Simpson. And guys, this is a victory for the St. Louis Cardinals right now. They have chased Jake Arrieta. They're only down 1 run at him.
To me, that's a shock. I mean, anytime a guy that had the kind of year that he's had, historic year, and he gives up the home run to Jason Hayward, he's the guy, the culprit of all this.
Absolutely, and 2 big home runs today, one from each side, that have really turned this momentum in this ball game around, and Hayward's the most recent, and the hit batter gets him out of there. But for the Cardinals, they've got to feel real good about themselves right now.
St. Louis with 4 on the board against Arrieta. Hayward with 2 hits, including the 2-run homer that has set it up now. Clayton Richard is in the game for the Cubs. Lefty on lefty matchup with Colton Wong at the plate. Richard is another guy who used to be a starting pitcher, has found new life here in Chicago on the north side.
That moving fastball, he throws 80% fastballs, and then you see the ball cuts. Long-time starter, San Diego most of the time.
Involved in the Jake Peavy deal. Sending a Peavy away, and a jam shot right back to Richard, and that will do it for the Cardinals in the 6th inning. However, the J. Hay Kid, a 2-run bomb, and it's a 1-run game in game 3.
It's here, the most advanced iPhone yet. Get the new iPhone 6s at T-Mobile, the network that's doubled its LTE coverage in the past year. Our new extended range LTE signal now reaches twice as far as before and is 4 times better in buildings. Want more? Get the lowest price on iPhone 6s with trade-in. 0 upfront and just $5 a month with Jump on Demand. Get it now at T-Mobile.
It's not about hugging trees. It's not about being wasteful either. Just gotta find that balance. Where taking care of yourself takes care of more than just yourself.
Lease an MKZ hybrid for $299 a month, only at your Lincoln dealer.
Looking for a real breakfast burrito? Don't look for it at a burger place. Get everything you love about breakfast scrambled, chopped, and dropped into a warm flour tortilla. Stick with the burrito experts, Taco Bell's Grande Scrambler.
Hi, Watson.
Annabelle, your birthday is tomorrow.
I'm turning 7.
What did you ask for?
A princess and a pony.
You like things that begin with P.
I like pink frosting, too.
Will you have a cake?
Yeah, I was too sick to have one last year.
The data you're done? No. Cancer treatments.
I want to be a doctor someday.
I can help with that, too.
Watson, I like you.
Why pause a spontaneous moment to take a pill? Or stop to find a bathroom? Cialis for daily use is approved to treat both erectile dysfunction and the urinary symptoms of BPH, like needing to go frequently, day or night. Tell your doctor about all your medical conditions and medicines and ask if your heart is healthy enough for sex. Do not take Cialis if you take nitrates for chest pain, as it may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Do not drink alcohol in excess. Side effects may include headache, upset stomach, delayed backache, or muscle ache. To avoid long-term injury, get medical help right away for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. If you have any sudden decrease or loss in hearing or vision, or any symptoms of an allergic reaction, stop taking Cialis and get medical help right away. Ask your doctor about Cialis for daily use and a free 30-tablet trial.
This game break is brought to you by Bleacher Report. Chase Utley not in the lineup, but is eligible to play. And the Citi Field crowd waiting for the Mets for Game 3 greeted him in this manner in Queens.
Number 26, infielder Chase Utley.
Whether you're screaming or booing, you can find that game over on TNT at 8:30. Meanwhile, back to Cards and Cubs out to Chicago. BA, back to you.
All right, Casey, thanks. Yeah, that was the most predictable outcome of the night right there. Chase Utley at Citi Field. We got a wild one here at Wrigley. This has been fun. Lead man up is Coughlin, pinch hitting. And on the first pitch, he delivers into right field with a single. So a bunch of changes here from both teams. The Cubs have a new battery. Madden counters with a left-handed bat off the bench, and Coughlin with a base hit. It's Tony Cruz now behind the plate. Molina is out. Pinch hit for last inning. And the new pitcher is Seth Maness, who is the third Cardinal pitcher used tonight.
He's the ground ball pitcher, been used a lot again this year. Not the big fastball, but you saw the sinker right there to Coughlin that he hit in the hole.
Top of the order for Chicago. Dexter Fowler shows bunt, takes a ball. So both starters are out. Arrieta still in line for the win. Walker went 4 1/3 for the Cardinals. He's on the hook for the loss. 6 hits, 4 earned runs against Walker. Arrieta gives up 4 earned runs in 5 2/3 innings. And he finished with 9 strikeouts. Just to put that in perspective, Jake Arrieta had given up 4 earned runs in his last 13 starts.
97 innings.
And he gives up 4 earned runs here tonight in 5 2/3.
First time he didn't get through the 6th inning since June 16th.
Which was the last time he allowed 4 earned runs in a game. So the Cardinals do something tonight that hasn't been done in a long, long time, and they are right there in it on a hitter-friendly night at Wrigley Field. And look who's warming up for St. Louis. Adam Wainwright, who was fantastic in his Game 2 appearance. Struck out the side in his 2nd inning, ended up going an inning and 2/3 in that one. Cubs lead by 1 on the strength of a 3-run 5th. And those big bats are coming up in this inning. Coughlin with a pinch hit single. Cubs have 9 hits in this game already. All of their starting position players have at least one hit, with the exception of Fowler and Montero.
Coughlin leaning a little bit on that throw over. Got a little speed, 11 stolen bases.
Cardinals think Fowler's up there to bunt. Corners are in. He shows bunt, gets it down. That's a beauty. Going to be a tough one. Manus' throw, and it is in time. What a play by Seth Manus. And the speedy Fowler is cut down. It's a sacrifice bunt for Fowler, but that was a heck of a play by Manus.
That's a base hit just about every other time Dexter Fowler puts that one down. Terrific play by Manus.
Just planted and all in one motion threw over there. Better fastball than he throws to the plate.
You remember those days here, both you guys do, of Wrigley Field back when they had the crown and how thick the infield grass was. You could lose a ball like US Open rough.
It would have stopped. You couldn't even get to it.
It's not the case anymore. It's a pretty fast track. And now Matheny's going to the home plate umpire to indicate a double switch here. So he wanted Manus in there for at least the switch hitter Fowler, and with the big muscle coming up, Mike Matheny's going to go to his big gun in the bullpen, and Adam Wainwright is on his way in. Manus faces two batters, gives up a single and a sac bunt, and Wainwright back on the stage.
When it's your job to protect the world's greatest nation, it's your responsibility to solve the world's greatest challenges. This is why we search for the best and brightest, why we train for every eventuality, on land and water, in the air, space, and even cyberspace. We operate in a complex world with one simple mission: win.
To play in October, you got to have that kind of attitude. You've got to have the attitude that game's not over.
You know the adrenaline's got to be through the roof with this kid.
Swing and a miss, make it 13.
You know, it just shows you they play with emotion. You got to play with some emotion, or sometimes you just let it out. We're really excited. We're really fired up.
God, a home run! Yo, Ennis Cespedes!
We can't just use all the emotions and leave all the adrenaline here. We've got to take it with us.
The cool of the day, the scent of the trees, and the sounds from all sides of an orchestra performing entirely for you. The Jeep Grand Cherokee, with active noise cancellation to turn any street into a symphony. The most awarded, rewarding SUV ever.
This game break is brought to you by our friends at Bleacher Report. Ruben Tejada, cane and all, at the stadium. A great sight for any baseball fan or involved in the game after the broken fibula. Here's how he was greeted by the Mets faithful.
And joining us in front of the New York Mets dugout, number 11, infielder Ruben Tejada.
You can catch the Mets and Dodgers over on TNT. In the meantime, back to you in Chicago. More of the Cardinals and Cubs with Adam Wainwright on the hill.
All right, thanks, Casey. A double switch here for Matheny. Grichuk will come into the game and play center field, and he will lead off for the Cardinals in the 7th inning. And Adam Wainwright is on the mound facing Jorge Soler, who swings and hammers deep into left center. Goodbye! Postseason for the ages already for Jorge Soler off of Adam Wainwright.
He's yet to make an out, right? I mean, he's been on base forever. Wainwright just tries to get a fastball, first pitch, and it gets back. He tried to throw it on the corner, leaks back over, and Soler, he is not waiting around. This ball is bridged out of here.
Man, what what a scene here at Wrigley Field. Look at Chris Bosio, the pitching coach. A curtain call for Soler. His second home run of this division series, on base for the 4th time tonight. This is an amazing run by Jorge Soler, Joe. 8 trips to the plate. He has not been retired.
And he's walked a lot. So it's not like he's been a free swinger the whole time. And tonight he goes up there and ambushes the first fastball he sees.
Last time up, he got a changeup he took for a strike, and then he threw a fastball. He hit a bullet.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy's in the zone.
What a play for Joe Madden. That was the big topic of discussion before the game as Bryant out in front, little roller to second base. That's Wong over there on that side of the infield, and he makes the play. Wow, that was a nice play by Colton Wong. Ranging far to his right. And there is out number 2 as Bryant is retired.
This is a nice play on the run by Wong. He's going to be across his body to throw this to Piscotty. He's got to get that ball there in a hurry. See him make the nice throw. Piscotty holds on to the bag, barely. Bang, bang at first.
The good plays he made the other night in St. Louis were rangy plays like that. They were to his left. The mistakes he made were trying to turn the double play and made a couple of bobbles.
Here's Anthony Rizzo now. That's the great thing about baseball, isn't it? You just never know in this game. Nothing is working out like you thought it would tonight. The Cardinals hitting Arrieta. Anybody hitting Arrieta. Wainwright comes in facing a rookie, and he sends one out of here to make it a 3-run lead again.
Wainwright faced 5 hitters in St. Louis and struck out 3 of them.
Rizzo batting with the bases empty and 2 outs. And a strike in there from Wainwright.
But he got ambushed. It's like Dennis said, that fastball leaked back over to the middle of the plate.
Well, his bread and butter is that hook, you know, and he comes in out of the bullpen just trying to throw a strike.
Rizzo, a dramatic homer in the 5th, and that one's high in the air in the infield, and it's going to be Peralta to make the play. Boy, we are finding out who's ready for the postseason. There's a new star on the horizon, Jorge Soler. 7-4 Cubs.
Every villain knows a getaway car requires abundant power, impeccable style, and of course, the cover of darkness. But what if it's a different kind of getaway you're after? The F-Type convertible and the F-Type coupe from Jaguar. Oh, it's good to be bad.
Jaguar has been ranked highest in customer satisfaction with dealer service among luxury brands by J.D. Power.
Brisket is a cut of beef that's been smoked for at least 13 hours. Bacon is a present pigs give you when you're good. Flatbread is a shape of bread. Arby's, we have the meats.
What's it like to be the boss of you? Pretty great. How about a 10% raise? How about 20? How about done? That's the kind of control I like. And that's what they give me at National Car Rental. I can choose any car in the aisle I want without having to ask anyone. Who better to be the boss of you than me? I mean, you. Us. Go National. Go like a pro.
Who's ready to have a baby?
Buster Posey.
You're not my doctor.
Come on, I'm sort of your doctor. I mean, we both wear gloves, and we always deliver in the clutch. Gloves? Clutch.
No, I'm sorry.
Perhaps we take a vote?
No.
Okay, guys, are we gonna do this or not? Let him try.
No.
Sorta you isn't you.
Honey, you're embarrassing me in front of Buster Posey.
Esurance helps make sure you only pay for what's right for you, not someone sorta like you. Esurance, official sponsor of Major League Baseball.
This is Jim. Jim's using Realtor.com to find his dream home with the most accurate real-time real estate info out there. You're a real-time real estate renegade there, Jim Bob. An arbiter of accuracy, a phenom of fresh listings, a master of mortgage rates, a ruler of refinancing, an emperor of escrow. Jim?
Yes?
Let's live in that house together.
Okay.
Okay. You have to click on it though. Just click right there.
This is shaping up to be one to remember tonight. 7-4 Cubs. They lead top of the 7 at Wrigley Field. Our coverage of the 2015 NLDS is presented by T-Mobile. And don't forget our upcoming postseason TV schedule. You've got the Dodgers and the Mets right now on TNT. That game underway tomorrow. We're back in the National League for Game 4s. We know that'll happen. Cardinals, Cubs, Dodgers, Mets on TBS. And then they've got a couple of Game 5s coming up on FS1 on Wednesday. Blue Jays and the Royals headed back to their home venues. So for his efforts, Jorge Soler gets removed from the game. Chris Coughlin will stay in after his pinch hit single. He'll play right field. And Joe, the new pitcher is Trevor Cahill, who is coming off an 8-pitch performance in Game 2 with 7 strikes in those 8 pitches and a great setup role.
He was phenomenal and throwing hard. It was a hard sinker he had working. I saw him today and I reintroduced myself from the time he spent in Atlanta, and I said, what got into you? And he said, you know, the Dodgers sent me back to rookie ball, then to AAA before they released me. And one of the things I was able to rediscover was the touch on my changeup. He said, I've got a good feel for my changeup again, and he said, I'm throwing more strikes. He said, novel idea, huh?
And it's a pretty familiar path, right? Release from the Braves, release from the Dodgers minor leagues, and then in the setup role or a late inning leverage role in a playoff series.
Oh, yeah, it's automatic.
It happens a lot.
But you look at his velocity, it's up too. I mean, he didn't throw like that. I mean, 94. He's a sinker, slider, a little changeup.
Grichuk in his first at bat, he came in on the double switch last inning.
He also complimented Miguel Montero, the catcher who he worked with in Arizona. So some comfort level there too.
Looks like he's fired up tonight. He's overthrown a little bit.
If you're the Cubs, those are show socks too. I believe those are Los Angeles Dodgers socks.
That's not
not mistaken.
No, that's not a good.
Those must be good luck socks.
Yeah, maybe they are.
They gotta be.
Or a reminder.
A reminder. It's okay. Everybody's got their path. Grichuk a swing and a foul. It's possible that the Cubs tonight could use 3 pitchers to get to their closer. Rondon, guys that have been starters in the big leagues, have lost their way and then come back. Cahill, Clayton Richard has already pitched, got the final out of the last inning, and of course Travis Wood sitting there as well, and he was great in Game 2.
That's why when you retool a bullpen, I mean, you never know when it's going to kick in. I mean, you get enough arms, guys that have been around. You see Travis Wood there, the same thing. Starter most of his career, and now he's found a home in the bullpen, and Madden loves him.
3-2 to Grichuk, and a swing and a miss. He struck him out. Cahill with his first out.
94 with a little dip. You see this fastball away. Look at the ball go down. He swings over the top of it. Little two-seamer rotating down. Beautiful thing. It's a strike if he takes it.
Grichuk has big power. Cahill able to get the strikeout for out number 1. Now back to the top of the order. Matt Carpenter. An 8-pitch at bat there against Grichuk for the strikeout. Cahill only threw 8 pitches in his 3-up 3-down inning in the 8th inning of Game 2 and had 2 strikeouts. One of those strikeouts was to Carpenter. He struck him out looking. And a wave and a miss. 0-2 the count on Matt Carpenter.
When this guy left Atlanta, I thought, well, he's making a lot of money. He's not going to go hungry. But look at him.
He's really making a lot of money right now, at least for his future. Delivering in the postseason. 0-2 the count on Carpenter. And he takes low.
When he was a starter, he was a contact guy. You know, he'd go out there, right? A lot of ground balls, but it wouldn't take him long Very efficient working starter.
Well, earlier this year, there was a lot of contact.
His numbers with the Braves, 15 games, had an ERA at 7.5. As a Carpenter swings and misses, down he goes again. Second time Cahill's punched him out in this series.
He's featured everything. He just threw him a cameo changeup right there. You know, having to mix this. We've seen his curveball. We've seen sinkers. It's phenomenal. Look at this.
And it's right there.
Great look at the changeup grip, the circle change, and Carpenter is gone. Oh, beautiful look.
Ball's middle. He's so far out front.
And now it is Piscotty with 2 away. Jason Hayward looked like he turned the momentum of this game with a 2-run homer off Arrieta last inning to make it a 5-4 Cubs lead. As Piscotty delivers to right field, a base hit. And the Cardinal first baseman continues his hitting ways. A 2-out single, on base for the second time tonight. And that will get Holiday to the plate. Hey, a quick reminder here, you can follow every pitch of the postseason with MLB.com @BAT, the #1 app for live baseball. Stay connected, highlights, replay reviews, scores, pitch tracking, and the live radio broadcasts. Download the @BAT app today. 2 outs, Cubs lead by 3, 7th inning. And Holiday takes a ball and a snap throw to first.
Why is it always a ball in the dirt when he wants to make a snap throw? It's amazing.
Makes sense, though. If you're a base runner, anytime a ball goes in the dirt, what's your instinct, Joe? You're going to take a step?
You're going to break, yeah.
I thought he would throw that ball back to the screen.
Just look at some of these numbers against Cahill in their career. Carpenter 5 for 11 coming into this series, and Holiday 4 for 12 with 3 homers.
Ooh.
They have big numbers, but they don't have much success so far. They're wondering the same thing we've been wondering.
Cahill version 2. And a swing and a miss. Holiday looking back to see if that ball disappeared. Those are the Chevy numbers for Holiday. Joe just mentioned 4 of his 4 hits, 3 of those homers. Two outs. And the 1-1 is high. 2 balls and a strike on Holiday. Trevor Cahill, 27 years of age, longtime starter, was a workhorse for the A's and the Diamondbacks. Was an all-star back in 2010, pitching for Oakland that year. Never pitched in the postseason until his outing in Game 2. Now appearance number 2. The 2-1 and a swing and a miss. 2-2 on Holiday.
That was just hardball right there. 2-1.
Like was up too.
Yeah. Old-fashioned hardball. Just let it fly.
Good block by Montero. Cahill was a starter with the Diamondbacks, with Montero the primary catcher with Arizona for 3 seasons. And we asked Joe Madden, was there any discussion about Cahill with Montero? He said, nope, not that I'm aware of. They just took a flyer on a guy, and it ends up working out. And he's giving them some big outs in the postseason. Runner goes. Holiday gets jammed. Ground ball to Baez. And a low throw, and Rizzo cannot make the play. So Baez very nonchalant with that throw to first. And a throwing error opens the door for the Cardinals, and Jason Hayward is coming up.
That was a lazy play there. He was throwing on the run, and he had time to plant and throw against a slow runner. Threw a sinker over there, and as good as Rizzo is, he couldn't handle that one. That was very nonchalant.
Baez, a very good defender, but not here when the Cubs needed him most to make a routine play. And that's going to be the end of the line for Trevor Cahill, and the Cardinals will bring the tying run to the plate. We got a pitching change at Wrigley. Jason Hayward is coming up.
Hi, Watson.
Annabelle, your birthday is tomorrow.
I'm turning 7.
What did you ask for?
A princess and a pony.
You like things that begin with P.
I like pink frosting, too.
Will you have a cake?
Yeah, I was too sick to have one last year.
The data your doctor shared shows you're healthy.
Are you a doctor?
No, I help doctors identify cancer treatments.
I want to be a doctor someday.
I can help with that, too.
Watson, I like you.
Hello. Welcome.
That's an egg!
It's hard to prepare for something when you're not ready for it, huh?
Absolutely.
Want to meet a car that can detect things before you can?
Yeah.
Meet the Chevy Equinox with available forward collision alert. It can help warn you when you're approaching another vehicle too fast so you can take action.
I need that.
Ford Escape doesn't have that.
Oh, come on, Ford. Love this vehicle. Very smart car.
This is really nice.
It's here, the most advanced iPhone yet. Get the new iPhone 6S at T-Mobile, the network that's doubled its LTE coverage in the past year. Our new extended range LTE signal now reaches twice as far as before and is 4 times better in buildings. Want more? Get the lowest price on iPhone 6S with trade-in. 0 upfront and just $5 a month with Jump on Demand. Get it now at T-Mobile.
All right, this game break brought to you by our good friends over at Bleacher Report over on TNT. Mets and Dodgers underway. No Ruben Tejada, and the folk hero from earlier this season, Wilmer Flores, was a nice play on Howie Kendrick in the hole to get the first out. Harvey followed with a K. We'll keep you posted. Back to you guys in Chicago.
All right, Casey, thanks. There you see Travis Wood. He's the left-hander out of Joe Madden's bullpen. And he's coming on to face Jason Hayward. A very costly error by Javier Baez has kept the door open for St. Louis. Travis Wood was outstanding in 2 1/3 scoreless innings. Only 1 hit allowed in game 2.
That 1 hit, I think, was the last batter he faced.
Hayward has done damage tonight. And a double in the second, hit a 2-run home run in the 6th. And he swings, and a liner to left field. Right there, Schwarber. 1 pitch. Wood gets out of it, and nobody breathes deeper than Javier Baez. 7-4 Cubs.
Hähnchenflügel zum halben Preis.
Parmesan Knoblauch?
Ja.
Island Fire?
Ja.
Honig Barbecue?
Ja.
Es ist unglaublich.
CJ, warum sprechen wir eigentlich Deutsch?
Ich weiß nicht.
Liegt es am Namen Winktoberfest?
Ich denke schon.
Etwas übertrieben.
Bless you.
Gesundheit.
Bless you.
Gesundheit.
Bless you.
Whatever language you speak, it's time to celebrate Wingtoberfest. Half-price wings Thursday, October 15th. This is how you Sonic.
To introduce the new Infiniti QX50, we could have shown it on a winding mountain pass, or somewhere even more cliche, like a downtown street. But what distinguishes the Infiniti QX50 isn't where you can take it, it's how you feel taking it there. With generous cargo space, extended second-row legroom, and coupe-like handling, the new QX50 from Infiniti. Lease the new Infiniti QX50 for $329 a month. Visit your local Infiniti retailer.
Play scary music.
Sure.
What time's the pirate store close?
Pirate Supply Store is open until 6 p.m.
How do I make fake blood? What are the top scariest movies of all time?
Turn on the flashlight.
What's a good trick?
How old is too old to trick or treat?
You're never too old to trick or treat.
We need to disrupt the old order in Washington, D.C. We can do a lot better by applying conservative principles. We should lower rates and simplify the code to allow people to freely decide how they want to spend their money. What we need is leadership to fix a few big things so that this country takes off and soars, where people can dream the biggest possible dreams and pursue them with a vengeance.
JEB, proven conservative, real results. Right to Rise USA is responsible for the content of this message.
What we are called upon to do now is to ensure that the American dream doesn't just survive, but that it reaches more people and changes more lives than ever before.
New ideas for a new age. Throw out the tax code. Overhaul higher education. Repeal and replace Obamacare.
You and I were left by our parents and grandparents the greatest nation in the history of the world. It is our obligation to keep it that way.
Learn more at conservativesolutionsproject.com.
Stretch time is over here at Wrigley Field. Headed to the bottom of the 7th inning. Cubs lead by 3. And our aerial coverage tonight, the beautiful images from up above provided by Goodyear. Goodyear, more driven. Lights are up at Wrigley. And the Cubs are coming up bottom 7. Starlin Castro will face Adam Wainwright, who surrendered a 2-run home run to Jorge Soler last inning. And Wainwright begins an inning fresh, and strike one to the Cubs second baseman Castro. Wainwright made 3 appearances out of the bullpen at the end of the regular season, and his first postseason appearance in Game 2 since 2006, when he was on the mound for 2 clinchers, the LCS and the World Series clincher. He was the man on the mound when it ended, and now he's back in that role here 9 years later, recovering from Achilles surgery. Nobody thought he'd make it by the end of the season, and he made it with 3 games left, and here he is in a prominent role out of the Cardinal bullpen.
A medical marvel.
Starlin Castro has hit a big home run tonight. Game tire in the 4th. And a fly ball, the wind really pushing that one, and it will end up in the seats. Let's give you some of the StatCast information. That home run by Castro, who launched one way out of here, 414 feet. Exit velocity over 100 miles an hour. And that made it a 2-2 ball game.
For me, that was probably the biggest blow of the game, because it really just turned things around.
And it was on an off-speed pitch that he hit 414 feet.
That was a first pitch breaking ball from Waka in that 4th inning. See what Wainwright has in mind for him. And a 1-2 is down and away.
This Cubs team, we talked about them in the first game. They were a weird club. They led the league in strikeouts as hitters, and they led the league in walks. And that was the first combination of those categories since the '78 Cincinnati Reds.
And a big home run hitting club as well, as Castro delivers to right, a single. Starlin Castro is hitting well. And one of the great things about Wrigley Field is the 7th inning stretch and take me out to the ball game. And normally those who occupy this booth coordinate that, but tonight they had video of the great Ernie Banks from years past. What a moment here. It was a really cool moment. Ernie Banks passed away in January of this season as Kyle Schwarber takes a ball. He was 83 years of age. And I do want to say this about the folks at Busch Stadium. So the 2 7th inning stretches they had at Busch Stadium in this series, they played a tape of Jack Buck singing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" from Wrigley Field. So there's a little symmetry here between the 2 organizations and 2 icons of the organizations, Jack Buck and Ernie Banks.
Both wonderful. Great jobs by both ballparks.
And Mike Matheny with Adam Wainwright on the mound, and the rookie Schwarber at the plate. Has a homer and a walk tonight. Cubs get a lead man on with a Castro single.
Now remember, with Molina out of the game, obviously his thumb was too painful to continue. They're only carrying 2 catchers, so Tony Cruz back there is there for the duration, and the Cardinals holding their breath, making sure and hoping nothing happens to him.
And if they say their 3rd catcher was Mark Reynolds,
yeah,
didn't they say that?
That's what they said. Mike Matheny said, that's not something we talk about, but then he winked and said Mark Reynolds. So you might not see a pinch hit appearance by Mark Reynolds in this game. Matheny communicating with Molina. Those two are in constant sync. And Matheny praises Molina, or rather Cruz and Molina, his two catchers. And Cruz and Molina praise Matheny for his ability to still think like a catcher throughout a game. Cruz, very capable catcher, got a lot of playing time when Molina was out in the month of September.
Outstanding arm.
And a big swing and a miss by Schwarber. There are two rookies starring in this postseason, or have a chance to star in this postseason, that are from the 14 draft. Kyle Schwarber was the 4th pick, and Michael Conforto of the Mets. Hard to believe you make it to the big leagues that quickly. Just one season essentially on the calendar. That draft is not until June.
And contribute the way those two guys have.
Threw a fastball by him, 2-1. Now he's back to 3-2. Be careful with that fastball here, I think. I'd be surprised if he hooked him.
Wainwright working the corners. Full count. Schwarber takes a called strike 3. Wainwright with his signature pitch and a punch out of Kyle Schwarber for the first out.
You just sort of tip your hat right here. 3-2 curveball down and in. See the fastball when he was behind the count before, not this time.
Takes his index finger off the baseball as he's throwing that curveball, and it's one of the better breaking balls in the game.
He said his arm feels strong. Had to rebuild the legs from the Achilles up. Had to rebuild his lower body and his core strength during that comeback, but did so. And Joe went to extreme measures too to make sure he could try to get back this year if the Cardinals made it into the postseason, which it looked like they were from mid-April.
He was telling me about a treadmill that takes weight off of you as you're on the treadmill, where you only have to use 50% body weight, 75% body weight. That was really instrumental in building up and keeping his leg strength where it was. But anybody that's ever had a torn Achilles, I know they're shaking their heads because it's amazing. He had the surgery, I think it was May 3rd or May 4th, to reattach it.
April 25th was his last outing. He injured that Achilles while at the plate while running to first base.
He sat around 1 year after the Tommy John surgery and watched the team win the World Series.
Right.
Baez takes a strike. Wonder what was going through the mind and the heart of Javier Baez after that error. You can stomach errors, but in the postseason, when you're just being a little nonchalant with the baseball, those can jump up and bite you. Just ask the Cardinals from game 2. There's a ground ball. Oh, and it hits Castro. And there will be an out on the base runner there. Castro makes contact with the baseball. Baez will reach first, but Castro is out, and the second out of the inning. And instead of first and third and one away, the Cubs run into another mistake.
That was terrible right there. You cannot run into that. I don't know. See, he must have not got a good look at it. He just sort of ran into it, tried to jump out of the way, got him in the back heel.
Wasn't hit that hard.
No, it's like you've got to stop one way or another and read that thing. Big break for the Cardinals right there. That's a base hit to right field.
It was.
It's one of those rare box score entries where the second baseman gets a put out. It's 4 unassisted. He's the closest fielder, but Baez gets a hit out of it. But instead of first and third and one away, 2 outs, runner at first. And the batter is Montero. And a foul ball. Cub dugout looking out at Montero. Did that hit you? He said no, foul ball. balls and a strike. Cubs have made some mistakes tonight. They've had a base running mistake early. Soler got caught off the bag on a soft line drive to the shortstop. That snuffed out a first inning rally. Baez with the throwing error last inning didn't hurt him. And now Castro with a base running error. In on the knuckles again. 0-2 the count on Montero.
Wainwright's never been a guy that was like a hard thrower 95, even though he's such a big guy. He's always had great control, a little cutter, bread and butter curveball, paint with the best of them.
And a workhorse. That's got to be a test on that left ankle and Achilles to do that spin move to first base.
Nobody's bunted on Wainwright yet since he's come back, even in the 3 games in the regular season. As Montero fouls one off. But there was enough Cardinal propaganda sent out there about a simulated game that he was involved in where they did all kind of bunting drills against him to make him field plays and make him run to first, the PFP plays. So I think there was enough out there, enough video anyway, that folks who aren't comfortable bunting aren't going to just do it to see if Wainwright's okay. That would be risky. And a swing and a miss. So Wainwright strikes out Montero. Base running blunder for the Cubs. And we are headed to the 8th inning. 7-4. Mr. Cub. He's all smiles watching this one so far.
Luxury is being pulled in a new direction, drawn to an idea whose time has come. Built with a revolutionary carbon core that is lighter, leaner, stronger. Because the best way to predict the future is to create it. Introducing the most innovative vehicle in its class, the all-new BMW 7 Series. Driving luxury.
You know, Viagra helps guys with erectile dysfunction get and keep an erection. Talk to your doctor about Viagra.
Ask your doctor if your heart is healthy enough for sex. Do not take Viagra if you take nitrates for chest pain. It may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Side effects include headache, flushing, upset stomach, and abnormal vision. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. Stop taking Viagra and call your doctor right away if you experience a sudden decrease or loss in vision or hearing.
Ask your doctor about Viagra.
You know, Blue Moon didn't always come with an orange. Early on, I noticed people serving our beer with lemons, kind of like a traditional Belgian wit. But we brew Blue Moon Belgian White with Valencia orange peel for a subtle sweetness. And that's when I got the idea for the orange garnish. So what I would do is bring bags of oranges to bars and show bartenders how to garnish our beer.
People loved it, and when they realized they brought out the orange peel in the beer, they loved it even more. You could say the orange on top brought it all together.
So how did you get this gold PS4?
So last week I ran into this guy, Dimitri Two Hands. He used to run with the mob. Anyway, his goons boosted some bullion from the Kemerov vault. But the bars are marked, so they had to melt them down. Now it's in a cookhouse. You know the right guys and have the dinero. People are dipping all sorts of stuff in it. That's how.
Really? Because I heard that you can only win it at Taco Bell. Grab a quesarito or Volcano Quesarito Big Box for a chance to win a limited edition gold PS4 bundle. There's a winner every 10 minutes.
Harold Reynolds here. When I need to catch up on baseball, I pull up my MLB.com at-bat app. Highlights and updates whenever I want. Follow the 2015 postseason. Get baseball's #1 app with more than 40 million downloads. The MLB.com at-bat app.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Office of the Commissioner of Baseball and may not
not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent.
Back at Wrigley Field, Chicago. Changes for the Cubs. Joe Madden will tighten up his outfield defense. Austin Jackson is now in right field. That moves Coughlin to left. And the new pitcher is Pedro Strop. First offering to Peralta. Strike one. Strop anxious to get back on the mound. His game one appearance gave up a home run in that one. 2/3 of an inning.
Throws hard, mid to sometimes upper 90s, breaking ball that he occasionally will loop, get out around it.
Johnny Peralta starts it for St. Louis. Pitcher spot is due up next.
Like he canned his slider. He was going to the fastball tonight.
He has had zero luck at Busch Stadium.
And a quick release, and Peralta fouls it away. Strop does that every now and then.
Which I think is kind of tired, but nowadays they do what you have to do, I guess.
You know who does that a lot? LaTroy Hawkins.
He's over in his 40s, so what are you going to do?
Whatever it takes, man. See what he does. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And a swing and a miss. Good slider by Pedro Strop. Out number 1 gives us a chance to hear from Casey Stern once again in Atlanta.
All right, Brian, thank you very much. You're looking live at the Dodgers and Mets right now on TNT. Bases were loaded in the second. Big hit to right for Yasmani Grandal, drove in 2. Errant throw by Granderson in right field to David Wright scored the 3rd run. 3-0 the Dodgers leading off Matt Harvey in the 3rd. Back to you guys in Chicago.
All right, thanks for that update, Casey. Here at Wrigley, we're in the top of the 8th. St. Louis down 3, and the pinch hitter is Greg Garcia. Batting in the 6th spot in the Chicago batting order, which was occupied by Wainwright after the double switch. Garcia, utility infielder. Mike Matheny choosing Garcia over Pete Kozma for this postseason roster. Tony Cruz is on deck. And Strop skips one in there at 95. 2 balls and a strike on Garcia.
Garcia, the grandson of one of the great guys in baseball, Dave Garcia. He was a long-time manager, scout, coach.
Coach of mine back when I was a rookie zillion years ago.
Great man.
2 balls and a strike. And that's in there. Fastball. 2-2 the count.
You can see how important Strop can be when he throws strikes. He's got electric arm, 95 with a biting slider, but he can lose the strike zone.
Crowd is up. 2-strike pitch is low. Garcia, good take there. And that sends the count full 3-2. Cardinals have had great success in this series with their pinch hitters. 2 for 5. The 2 hits have been homers. Also had a walk in that group. Payoff pitch coming. Garcia stays alive. It's going to be a fun series for Greg Garcia and Colton Wong as well. They were teammates at Hawaii, University of Hawaii. And they have actually been teammates at every level coming up through the Cardinals system as well. And now they're teammates in the big leagues. 6 straight years.
That's unusual.
They've been together from the island. Garcia gets his moment here, down 3. And he swings a hard hit ball. Nice play, Rizzo. Backhand stab. Strop is there. And out number 2. And Anthony Rizzo with a gem for the 2nd out of the inning.
How about that pick? I mean, that is a serious pick. Breaking ball to Garcia. He hits a bullet 1-hop backhand by Rizzo. Look at step. I mean, look at this pick. It looks like nothing. That is serious. That ball came up, stayed with it.
play on an in-between hop, too.
Rizzo with that great production offensively, but he is an outstanding defensive first baseman. And showed his wares right there. 2 up, 2 down. Strop got away with a hanging slider there to Garcia. And instead of Yadier Molina, it's going to be Tony Cruz, his first at bat. Mike Matheny pinch hit for Molina in the 6th inning. What we have to assume is that thumb injury sparking up again. 0-2 the count on Cruz. Tried that quick release again. Don't call it a quick pitch. A quick pitch is illegal, but it's a quick release. You can only do it with the bases empty.
That's where I don't want to be the catcher. With 2 strikes, you got to block the ball, because otherwise, if he swings, he has a chance to go to first. So about a 55-footer, you got to figure out a way to block it.
You don't know when he's going to do it either.
No, thank you.
He's going to the slider here. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and a ground ball, chopper foul. Tony Cruz hangs in there. Pedro Strop. He came with Arrieta to the Cubs from the Orioles back in 13. Has emerged as a late inning reliever for the Cubs this season. Another quick release and a swing and a foul. Cruz was ready for it that time. Cubs took the lead with a 3-run 5th inning. They have not looked back. They got to a 1-run game before Jorge Soler hit a 2-run homer off Wainwright in the 6th. And Strop, a called strike 3. Pedro Strop strikes out Cruz to end the inning, and the Cubs 3 defensive outs away from a Game 3 win.
Degrees, 40 below, and protection for 15,000 miles. Mobil 1 energy lives here.
My husband got the organist at Fenway to play my favorite song.
During the 7th inning stretch, my mother told me that I was going to be a big sister.
This is the dirt from the old Yankee Stadium. It was at my wedding and the birth of both my sons.
I had my first kiss ever on the kiss cam.
My lucky charm.
My dad came back with 10 baseball helmets.
Games after my bedtime. My father, he had this smile on his face that was incredible.
Bank of America asks, what's your favorite baseball memory? Share it all season long using hashtag MLB Memory Bank.
Jurassic World. Own it on Blu-ray October 20th.
It's here. The most advanced iPhone yet. Get the new iPhone 6s at T-Mobile, the network that's doubled its LTE coverage in the past year. Our new extended range LTE signal now reaches twice as far as before and is 4 times better in buildings. Want more? Get the lowest price on iPhone 6s with trade-in. 0 upfront and just $5 a month with Jump on Demand. Get it now at T-Mobile.
I have a fix on it, Captain. I believe I can lock on it. Put it on the screen.
Great entertainment now comes with a great offer. DirecTV customers who switch to AT&T Wireless can save $120 a year. Plus, right now, get $500 credit for every line you switch to AT&T when you trade in an eligible smartphone and buy any smartphone on AT&T Next. Click today.
Coming soon to DirecTV Cinema.
I wanted to tell you I was sorry for how I acted.
No, Ray, really.
And I promise I'm going to make it up to you, honey.
Oh my God.
Emma,
Even though this is happening in California, you will feel it on the East Coast. We need to warn people now.
I got you.
San Andreas. Movies start at Channel 125.
This 2015 NLDS telecast on TBS is brought to you by Cialis and by the Lincoln Motor Company and the entirely new Lincoln MKX.
Wrigley Field, Chicago. Game 3 of the National League Division Series. New pitcher for St. Louis. Jonathan Broxton is in. Chris Coughlin batting for the second time. Came in a pinch hit appearance in the 6th inning, had a single. And the numbers for Jonathan Broxton, who appears for the second time in the series. Those are his regular season numbers. Worked a scoreless inning. And that Game 2 win for Chicago on Saturday.
Not quite the same guy that he used to be.
Wind blowing out the field. The Cubs have 5 home runs in this game. They have tied a major league postseason record, and it's interesting, Joe, that Dennis Eckersley has been a part of 2 of those.
I didn't give up the 5.
No. That was your team. I mean, your team.
Right.
The '84 Cubs and the '89 Oakland A's.
Yeah, kind of weird. That was the earthquake series, one of the games against the Giants. After the earthquake, I think we came back and hit 5. Big scoring, a lot of runs in that series.
The first team to hit 5 homers in a game in the postseason was the '28 Yankees, who did it in the World Series, of course, against St. Louis. Babe Ruth hit 3 of the 5. And then the '04 Cardinals and the '05 White Sox. The other 2 teams, has Coughlin, a wave and a miss. Down he goes on strikes. Well, the Chicago Cubs building of a roster, maybe arriving a year earlier than many thought, but you got to give a lot of credit to their front office as well. Theo Epstein. Oh, I get it. He's got the Einstein look there. Nice. Theo Epstein, the president of the Cubs, Jed Hoyer, his general manager, and all of these great young players. It does take a lot of losses to be able to acquire players like Chris Bryant. It takes a lot of money to be able to sign players like John Lester, and the foresight to hire Joe Madden might be the biggest of all the moves that he's made.
I would agree with that too. But that deal they made last year with the A's, sending Samardzija, who was close to closing in on free agency, Samardzija and Hamilton for Addison Russell.
Dexter Fowler takes a strike.
Everybody knew that when Epstein came over here, something was going to get done. He knows what he's doing. He did it in Boston, and he had a plan. And the plan is, like you said, is maybe early a year, but they've got money. The combination is lethal. And you look around and see where they're going. They could make a run at the guard of the National League Central for a while.
They won 97 games this year and finished in 3rd place in their own division. Cardinals won 100. The Pirates won 98. As Fowler, a swing and a miss. On the count of 2-2.
Things can only be accelerated, in my opinion, when you're thinking about projecting about they're a year ahead of schedule, by ability. Because these guys have shown that they are players despite their age and inexperience.
And you get to hang out with Eddie Vedder when you're an executive with the Chicago Cubs, and that's probably the coolest thing. Fowler fouls it off. Lead singer of Pearl Jam is a big Cubs fan, was in the clubhouse.
There he is.
For the wild card win. I was talking to David Ross, the Cubs backup catcher. He said the 2 biggest celebrations he's ever had were with the Cubs, and he walked into the clubhouse in Pittsburgh, and there's Eddie Vedder. And Ross was a part of a World Series winning team in Boston as well. Matt Weiner, a big Pearl Jam fan. He's coming in on Eddie Vedder. What do you got, Matt?
Absolutely, and I upped my cool factor significantly by speaking to Eddie the other day in Pittsburgh in the wild card game. He's not just here as a Johnny-come-lately to hang out with Theo. He's a long-term Cubs fan. He told me at his first game, as Fowler perhaps goes deep here.
Yeah, Hayward looking up, and it's gone. A home run for Dexter Fowler. That is a major league record. 6 home runs in a postseason game. Dexter Fowler with his second postseason home run, and the Cubs are up 8-4.
I knew the ball was jumping tonight, but that's ridiculous. 6 home runs. Gets a slider inside. He just lifts it right out of here. See the slider? He sort of left it right there, spinning. He got this thing in the air, and that's all you have to do, and that ball carries out of here.
Austin Jackson now batting for the first time in the spot of Soler. Boy, what a moment there. I can't remember if Matt finished the story or not, but I was really into it. Fowler with a mock curtain call there.
Didn't get to pay that off.
we got to get that story in. The way the ball's flying out here tonight for the Cubs, it's tough. All right, Matt, here's your chance. It's a foul ball.
Well, the end is pretty good because he said he remembered his first game at Wrigley Field. He saw Roberto Clemente hit a home run.
Nice. Well, we saw Geddy Lee in Toronto, and rock stars want to be athletes and vice versa. Austin Jackson, his first at bat of the night. And that one is upstairs.
The first 6 hitters in this lineup have home runs. It's hard to do. 1 through 6. Incredible.
The 6 home runs is a postseason record. Our friends at Elias tell us that it's the first time in over 20,000 Cubs games 2 through 6 in the order have all homered, and now 1 through 6 in the order. That's a lot of Cubs games. Just seeing things tonight that we have not seen. Fowler has hit 2 postseason homers. He had a big one in Pittsburgh as well.
And there have been some home runs hit tonight that were not wind aided. I can't say that there weren't 1 or 2 that were helped, but there have been some rockets hit.
One and 2 on Jackson.
Every Cardinals pitcher has given up a homer except for Manus.
Dexter Fowler, the 6th of that group. And with the wind blowing out like it is, I would imagine that the ball he hit in St. Louis was hit much harder than that one. And Eddie Vedder says, yes, sir. Yeah, having some fun at Wrigley Field tonight. Chance to go up 2-1 in this best of 5. It makes tomorrow an elimination game if the Cubs can hang on to win this one. This is going to be an elimination game for someone anyway.
Another game here left, another inning, I know, but then the question being, who's going to start game 4 for St. Louis tomorrow?
One out. Here's a 3-2 to Jackson. He walks. And the inning continues. A man on with 1 away. A run is in. Let's check in with Casey Stern.
All right, BA, thank you very much. Already a run in on a Darno single to cut it 3-1. And with the bases loaded and 2 down, Citi Field comes alive. Granderson deep to center over the head of Kike Hernandez. All 3 runs come home. They gave up 3 in the top. They scored 4 in the bottom. Suddenly Harvey working with a 4-3 lead in inning number 3. Back to you guys in Chicago.
Got a wild one there as well. Boy, you know that is an electric atmosphere there in New York. First postseason game at Citi Field. Here's Bryant now. Jackson broke, then stopped, and Bryant takes a ball inside. Chris Bryant has come alive in this game 3. Had a single in the first inning that snapped an 0 for 11 in the postseason. And then a 2-run home run broke a 2-2 tie. And the Cubs have not trailed since. It was a no-doubter. We have had a number of 400-foot-plus home runs tonight. Jake Arrieta still in line for the win. Left with a lead in the 6th inning, 5 2/3 tonight. And those are the numbers for the dynamic duo, Bryant and Rizzo. 0 for 21 tonight, 2 bombs and 3 hits combined. A strike. 1-1.
Austin Jackson bluffing over there. If I'm Bryant, I want him to either go or calm down, because it'd be distracting to a right-handed hitter, especially out of the corner of your eye.
And he goes. And Bryant takes a ball throw to second from Cruz, right on the bag, in time for the out. Tony Cruz guns down Jackson, and a caught stealing for out number 2.
I thought he had no chance to throw him out. He got a good jump. Like you said, what an arm Cruz has. Look at this thing. This release, bang, bang, right on the bag. Good slap tag. He looks back, probably cost them a little bit of time, but what a great throw, great tag.
And clearly out. And now Bryant takes a strike. And Chris Bryant in a 2-2 count in a long inning for Broxton. 24 pitches already. Home run by Fowler. And down he goes. A strikeout to end the inning. But the Cubs make postseason history. 6 home runs tonight for the Chicago Cubs. And it's Dexter Fowler who gives them an 8-4 lead.
You won't believe it till you see it. But at Cricket Wireless, you can get smartphones like the LG Rizio or the Nokia Lumia 635 for as low as $19.99 when you bring your number. Cricket Wireless, something to smile about.
FanDuel has definitely changed my Sundays. It's made it a lot more interesting.
FanDuel's one-week fantasy football leagues are paying $75 million a week with immediate cash payouts and no commitment.
I've deposited a total of $35 on FanDuel and won over $2 million.
Just choose a league, pick your team, and get your cash winnings after Monday night.
It's like the best adrenaline rush ever.
Try FanDuel today. We'll match your first deposit up to $200. Go to FanDuel.com and enter promo code END.
15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Yeah, everybody knows that.
Well, did you know that playing cards with Kenny Rogers gets old pretty fast?
You got to know when to hold on. Money when you're sitting at the table. What? You get it?
I get the gist, yeah.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Tonight we come to let loose. Tonight we come to dance. They try to put us in a box. They try to categorize us the same. We gotta dress like this. We gotta talk like that. But we say no more. Tonight we change things.
Freedom. Can a business have a mind, a subconscious, a knack for predicting the future, reflexes faster than the speed of thought? Can a business have a spirit? Can a business have a soul? Can a business be alive?
During the postseason, we are turning up the power with more coverage, more breakdowns, and more analysis of what's happened and what's up next. MLB Tonight on MLB Network.
Powered up before and after every postseason game.
Our coverage of the 2015 NLDS on TBS is presented by T-Mobile. It is 8-4. The Cubs have a lead at Wrigley Field. Game 3. And the Cubs are 3 outs away from a victory and a chance to advance tomorrow. Hector Rondon is on the mound. He is their closer. It's not a save situation, but he's on to try to get the final 3 outs. Colton Wong leads off for St. Louis. And a little jam shot out to Baez. And that one is there in time for out number 1. It has been a game where the Cubs have hit 6 home runs, setting a major league record. As you see the numbers during the regular season for Rondon, he got a save in game 2. The 30 saves this year has given the Cubs that force at the end of their bullpen that Madden's been looking for down the stretch.
Which you've got to have. He's got a lot of weapons down there, but this is his main man.
Cardinals bullpen did a great job in game 2 of keeping the game close and giving their offense an opportunity. Tonight, after Hayward hit the homer, it was only a 1-run game. Their bullpen couldn't contain him. Cubs blew it open.
Randall Grichuk fouls it away, and it's quickly 0-2. And it was a much different scene here in the 6th inning when Hayward went deep off Arrieta. Arrieta gave up 4. He's in line for the